Reports are out that if the Browns cut quarterback Baker Mayfield, the Pittsburgh Steelers would be all over him. Give me a break. What has Baker Mayfield done better than Mitch Trubisky up to this point in their careers? I mean, commercials. That's pretty much it, just commercials. And that's not a slight at Baker because his commercials are actually pretty damn good. The Colin Cowherd comparisons. Better record, Mitch Trubisky. Better completion percentage, Mitch Trubisky. Better touchdown to interception ratio, slightly in Mitch Trubisky's favor, but you could see they're pretty similar. Slightly better quarterback rating for Baker. There also is an argument that Mitch had worse weapons and a worse offense in general in Chicago versus what Baker was dealing with in Cleveland throughout all this time. Yet Mitch made a Pro Bowl still, but I get it with Baker. We could talk about how he's ran through some coaches, so that can only be difficult on a young quarterback, and also had to deal with injuries, not only himself, but some other players on the Cleveland offense. So I'll be nice. Why don't we just cancel out the context for each of their careers up to this point and what they had to deal with around them? From my perspective, both these quarterbacks have proven to be pretty much the same up to this point. You could be splitting hairs as to which one you want to argue is better. But Mitch has the better upside. He's more dynamic, has the better arm strength, also has the better size physical tools. So I'll take Mitch Trubisky over Baker Mayfield, especially when we're talking about Matt Canada's system and the RPOs and stuff like that. Why pay Baker X amount whenever you could just use that money to fill out a position of need? Maybe you could talk me into it if we were able to cut Mason and then use his cap hit to fill out a position of need on the roster. And then we'd have like a Baker, Trubisky, Dwayne Haskins quarterback competition. But to be honest with you, I don't even think I want Baker on this roster. I don't really like how he's handled his career up to this point in Cleveland. I mean, there's just been too much drama, too much back and forth with the media, and I don't think you really want that from your quarterback. Like Colin Cowherd said, I guess this is a Cowherd-themed Big Deke News, but the less noise, the better when you're talking about NFL teams. So Baker, I mean, unless the production outweighs that noise, which is what happened here in Pittsburgh with AB, then I don't really see the point because I don't think the production for Baker has outweighed the noise up to this point. So I'm good. Trubisky over Baker. In other news, Mike Tomlin is back up on his feet again. Good for him. He's officially moved on. This is after Aaron Rodgers decided this offseason that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers just weren't good enough as he was conducting his new team search. He ended up staying with the Packers. But Tomlin, just after a month, this is pretty good timing, has now turned his attention to Malik Willis. After Willis made this throw, you could see it in Tomlin and Colbert's eyes. Tomlin's thinking, if we traded up for Devin Bush, we could for sure as hell trade up for this guy. Colbert's texting Rooney saying, yo, I'm staying. I'll leave when Willis retires. One side of me's thinking, come on, bro. Didn't we just do this last year with Zach Wilson? Dude's making throws in shorts against no defense. Everyone goes crazy. And then we see how Zach Wilson's rookie year went. At the same time, I do think Malik Willis is the one quarterback I'm good with the Steelers taking. And I've been saying this. I don't think yesterday really changed anything one way or another. If anything, it just confirms, yeah, Malik Willis can be a stud. He can be a generational guy. The comparison I've been saying is a cross between Michael Vick and Russell Wilson. And if that turns out to be true, he could live up to that potential, then yeah, you take him. If you believe he could be that guy, there's your franchise guy for the next 10 or 15 years. So I wouldn't blame the Steelers for doing that. I guess they'd be taking the approach that the 49ers did last year where you have your bridge guy, Jimmy G. For us, it'd be Trubisky. And then you have Trey Lance waiting in the wings. For us, it would be Malik Willis. Now, if it's my decision, I still think that now that you have Trubisky, I'd prefer to use the pick on Jordan Davis, Devin Lloyd, or for receiver falls like Jamison Williams in the first round, just because I know those guys will have immediate impact on the roster for 2022. Whereas if you go with Malik, I'm assuming he's going to be sitting, but at the same time, you're thinking you found your guy. You're thinking you found the franchise for the next 10 to 15 years. So I wouldn't complain about that. I would just be more disappointed because I think if you go that route over best position available or position of need, then we wouldn't necessarily be increasing our chances of winning when the season rolls around, unless you're going to start Malik Willis at quarterback, which is what I'd be all for. It's just doubtful that happens. And after that combine performance, it's looking more and more like Willis is going to be going in the top 10. And we faced a similar scenario, though, just a few years ago whenever we traded up to get Devin Bush. We were at the 20 spot. We traded up to 10, and here's what it took. We swapped first, added in a second rounder for that current draft, and also a third rounder in the following year. So if that's what it takes, which I doubt, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more than that, do you do it? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News. Stay chillin'. Peace.